In this video I will introduce you to the Zlin Z142 by PWDT and NHAdrian, and I believe that at the beginning of 2025 this light aircraft add-on is the one that pushes the boundaries of what's possible the most, and to be honest, gives some of the makers of paid for add-ons a run for their money. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please don't forget to like and subscribe. So here we are at Salzburg in the freshly minted Red Bull hangar area, and I'd like to introduce you to the Zlin 142, which is a freeware add-on for X-Plane 12, and it really does raise the bar in terms of quality. So I don't normally look at the outside of aircraft. I normally just crack on with the flying, as you know. But this time, I think there are enough features on the outside of the aeroplane to warrant further investigation. So, let us begin. First thing is that if you click on this panel here on the left-hand side, you will see the battery. If you click on the battery, it is taken out of the aircraft, and you can actually check the voltage of the battery. And I've not tried it, but I understand that if you leave the electrics on and don't start the engine for a while, that the battery will actually discharge and go flat. Let's just put the battery back in again. Close that. Okay, next thing, you can examine the engine, and you get all your tools. Look, now okay, it's not quite on the ground. And then if we do that side as well, we'll see the other side of the engine, which looks different, which obviously it would in the real world. If we close that and close that down, and all of that disappears. Now the next thing just to say is you need to take obviously the pitot head cover and the chocks off before you operate the aircraft, so we'll do that by simply clicking. Now the other thing, which is really clever, is you can check the fuel. So if I go close to this, you'll see you can't see any of the marks. Because it's full. There you go. So it's a bit difficult to get to, but you can actually refuel the aircraft, and you probably can't see that very well, but there's a mark where the fuel is, right? And as you put fuel in the aircraft and take it out again, you can see the aircraft goes up and down, sort of moves as the centre of gravity changes. So you can refuel the aircraft by clicking on each of these and adjusting the fuel position, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, obviously you can also go into here as normal. Better sort that out actually. So it was the left-hand tank, wasn't it? Yeah, so actually must have put it back to where it was. Okay, and then the last thing I just want to show you is you can click on the front wheel and put a tow trolley on. Now obviously you've got to take the brakes off. But if you lift the mouse up, you can push it back, and if you pull the mouse down, you can pull it down, and if you steer it, you can steer the aeroplane. How about that? Right, let's hop in the cockpit and have a bit of an explore, shall we? Okay, so here we are in the cockpit. I have turned off head tracking just for the moment. If we do that, canopy opens, which is rather nice. I'll just hop out again and have a look. There you go. Now, this is not to be confused. Just to shut it again. Not to be confused with this lever, which is the emergency eject. And if you do that, it will eject the canopy and it will be gone forever. Okay. Okay, a few other things about this aeroplane. There is a checklist thing which enables you to control some of the settings. So you can, for example, put fairings on the wheels. So if we hop out again, see we've got fairings on the wheels now, which is rather nice look. There's a sighting device on the left wing, so that's off at the moment. So if you do that, you get that look, and you can just about see it, and you can use that to line yourself up with the horizon if your aerobatic capabilities are precision enough, which mine never are. You can enable the smoke system and disable it, and put the strobe light on. You've also got layout. So you can change to an old Soviet era layout if you want. Control the field of view for static elements. That would be relevant if you if the field of view is not quite right, then things disappear as you go away from the aircraft. So if you're filming it from outside, the wheels might disappear or something. I've not had any issues with that on this aeroplane. It does obviously affect the performance. The closer the sort of further away things can be seen, the more the cost is. And then you can control the fuel tank content as well, and the payload and so on. Obviously you can do that from the standard menus on X-Plane as well, and it gives you a total all-up weight based on passengers and baggage and so on, and does the center of gravity calculations. You can change from imperial to metric, and if you do that, you get kilometers an hour rather than miles per hour. Okay, but it also gives you height in kilometers as well, which is a bit weird. So I think leave it in imperial, I think. And then there's a set of different viewports that you can use to see different aspects. See the aircraft from different angles, right? Which obviously is not very practical in flight, but you can set those all up to buttons or whatever if you want to. Okay, switch that off then, and the final thing is the starting of the aeroplane. Now there is a checklist for this, and we will go through the checklist. It is worth just restating the quality of this aeroplane, this model, is just superb, isn't it? I think that it clearly used PBR textures, and it just looks real, I think. Even down to the scuff marks look on the ground. Okay, so let's get this aeroplane started and go for a fly, shall we? The first thing is we check the fuel quantity. Now we've already done that physically, haven't we, outside? So we're we're happy that we've got sufficient fuel for the flights because it's only a local flight. And the second thing is to check the METAR. What we'll do actually is just set the altimeter to 0 height, which gives us, what's that, QFE of, blimey, 964. That's quite low, isn't it? Okay, it's a nice day, but low air pressure. Okay, so that's the METAR done. And check close the canopy. Canopy is closed. Check all switches are off, so that's off. Master switch is off. All these switches are off. That's fine. Now we're going to check controls. We've got full and free movement. Okay, we've got full and free movement, and we will do that as well. And then we will pull the control stick all the way back, give the brakes a push, put the fuel switch to on, and then we will switch on the accumulator and the generator and the starter and the flight instruments. And then we will push the compressor to full on, which is that one. Set the prop to minimum. Okay, prop to minimum there. Main switch on. Ignition to 1, 2, both. Push the throttle forward a little, that's it. And then push the starter. Okay, so we just need to let it warm up a bit. Give the effect of the prop there. While it's warming up, we'll just have a look at the weather. We've got a 2-knot crosswind, so we will be going out on 1.5, I would say. Okay. How are we doing? Getting there. I think it's warm enough to taxi. I shall just turn on the head tracking. That's it. Okay, and I think we don't need the full length of the runway, so we will just taxi out onto the runway and swing left and do a couple of circuits, see if I can work out how to land this thing and go from there. do need to do actually is turn on the radios. There you go. And also turn on the turner slip as well. Okay. Before we start, we'll just do a quick mode check. So, hold the brakes. Okay, push. 1700. And then check the in. Okay, it goes down by less than 100, that's fine. Yeah, that's okay. And then bring that to idle. Sounds fine. Okay, looks fine, let's go. Fabulous, isn't it? So we will do a left-hand circuit. Salzburg once we've done a couple of circuits, I think. So you can practice flying with instruments that have failed, which I think is quite clever. Well, it's a slam, but not bad, actually. Okay, that's from 1 knot. Let's go. Go up and explore, shall we? It's a nice model of the castle, has to be said. still looks quite cartoon-like though, doesn't it? The sort of housing and that, and they really haven't sorted out the roads and the railways. I think the water is going definitely in the right direction. So the relationship between the water and the land, it seems to be constantly improving. But the roads just don't feel real, and I think it's a funny thing, isn't it? It's a sort of funny psychological thing, in that your eye is drawn to those little sort of jagged edges, and the buildings don't quite sit in the landscape. And I think the effect is less marked with orthophotos and with some of the, obviously some of the paid for scenery, but the auto-gen stuff, there's a bit of work to do on that, I'd say, and hopefully Mr. X will contribute his magic to that, and we'll see constant improvements. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is constantly getting better. It's just not great. Got to put the flaps up again. Right, first lot of flap. Quite a lot of power against the flaps. Then what we will do, just for fun, put the brakes on and turn off the boost, and then take master switch off. Fuel off. what we will do just for fun is take the brakes off, and then I need to be closer to the ground, don't I, to see it, I think. Yeah, there we go. There we are. So that is it, the Zlin 142. Now, I have many favourite aeroplanes amongst the community created add-ons in X-Plane. But if you will ask me which add-on is pushing the boundaries of what's possible in X-Plane, and to be honest, raising the bar for the makers of paid for add-ons, then I would say it's this fabulous little model of the Zlin 142 by PWDT and NHAdrian, and I'm extraordinarily grateful to them for their efforts, and I have no words to describe my admiration for their skills and attention to detail. I will include a link to the aircraft itself in the description. I thoroughly recommend giving it a go. There you have it, the Zlin Z142 by PWDT and NHAdrian in all its glory. Why don't you download it and give it a go? If you find something better, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.